This week on Chicago Beer Pass, Nick and I have a special guest joining us to talk all about Motor Row Brewing. All that more on this week's episode.
Yeah, because, you know, you get a cork popped out, boop, it just flies like fucking 10 feet. We're like, yeah, let's do it. The legend, Mr. Pete Crowley. I love Pete Crowley, man.
How's that beer? It's what you think it is.
It'll be like the stuff you hear. You ever go to, every time you go to Floyd's, all the music sounds like this. Raw, raw, raw.
Hey, and welcome to Chicago Beer Pass. I'm Brad Chmielewski.
Hey, I'm Nik White.
And we got a special guest in the studio here with us this week.
Indeed we do, man. We've got Motor Row Brewing's own, Mr. Frank Lassandrello.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Welcome. Thanks for coming on with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're drinking Motor Row beer, of course. It makes sense if you're on here. But what are we drinking?
Right now, we're enjoying my Munich-style Helles Reclamation Lager. It's a 4.5% golden lager beer that's brewed relatively traditional to the Munich style, except it's a little bit hoppier. I'm using imported Pilsner malt with German aroma hops.
Nice. And is this do you have multiple beers in cans, or is this the main one now?
Right now, we've got Reclamation in cans.
Okay.
And we're looking forward to getting our own canning line. Right now, we're using Midwest Mobile Canning, who are doing a great job.
Oh, those are the people who just like roll up.
Yeah, they roll up with a truck.
Okay.
Oh, really?
And they've got a canning line in the back.
No kidding.
Yep. Drop it into the brewery, and we're ready to run.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We wanted to have you on the show, man, because you're down in South Loop. You got this brewery going for what, like 2 years now?
It'll be 2 years in January.
Yeah, and it's a pretty cool project, man. And South Loop's starting to go through this like resurgence, man. So I guess maybe 3 years ago, there were probably no breweries like online.
No, there were none. Yeah.
Now we're approaching like 4 or 5 down there.
Sure,
right?
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about why you picked South Loop, man.
Okay, so my father Bob and I are partners in this venture and founding of this company, and we decided that we were going to move to a neighborhood that we felt was up and coming, as well as a spot that would be a great place for a brewery in a landmark building on historic Motor Row.
Yeah, because you guys used to be big. Was it Big Shoulders Brewing?
It was Broad Shoulders.
Broad Shoulders.
Correct.
Broad Shoulders.
And then we decided that we wanted to really be a part of the neighborhood and include that in the name of the brewery.
Okay.
So the name change happened when you found the location? That kind of went.
It was during the development of the brewery. I'd say probably 2 years into the 4-year build-out. Yeah, that's right. It was a 4-year build-out of a landmark building.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, so that took some years off my life for sure. Literally, figuratively. I'm tired. But we decided that we really wanted to embrace the neighborhood because there are finally people coming down. There's a lot of industry moving in, and hopefully soon it'll be a place to be. Yeah,
and you guys got a killer space, man. You own all 3 floors of this building off like 22nd and Michigan, something like that.
Yeah.
And then you guys won an award from the city because of the way you decided to rebuild it, right?
Yeah, that's correct. We got a LEED certification in a landmark building at 2337 South Michigan. It's actually Pete Crowley made a joke from Haymarket. We've got Beer South Michigan as our address if you do it on the phone.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah,
That's
he's like,
cool.
did you do that on purpose? I said, no, it's just dumb luck, Pete, you know. He said, I don't believe in dumb luck, Frank. Anyways, so yeah, we're really happy to be in this landmark building that was formerly automobile manufacturing and sales and showroom.
Yeah.
And you've been over there, right, Nick?
Yeah, I've been over there. We've been taking the brew bus there pretty solid for like over a year now.
Okay.
Yeah, so we always we started Lagunitas. Second stop is always Motor Row.
Cool.
Yeah, and people are excited about it, man, because like I think the first time I went to Motor Row was on the brew bus, so it gives you a chance to like see this space that you don't really have in your head as a place like like it's off the path a little bit.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
But there's like a big sign. You can see it from like the expressway, right? Or you can see the building.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
We've got a water tower next
Water
door to
tower.
us that we're working on it.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. It's something in the works. Hopefully it'll be pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So you got Vice District down there. They're like in an old like Chrysler building or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Motor Row's down there now. Beta Brew's down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of moves happening down there. So I met you, Frank. Like I feel like some years ago now at Festival, right?
It has. Yeah, it's been a couple of years.
Before this project started, man. And so what were you working before you did this project? Were you
A little bit about myself.
Yeah.
I started working at Goose Island, Clybourne in 2004 for Will Turner,
Okay.
the legendary Will Turner of,
The legend.
of Revolution. Well, he is in my mind.
Yeah.
Will's the best, man. They say if you work there now and you clock in for work, it says Will Turner is the coolest on the digital output.
I'm
every
not
time.
surprised.
Clybourne.
At Clybourne, yeah.
Well, I learned a lot, and when I first started there, he didn't think I was going to last very long because it turns out that brewing is 90% cleaning and 10% making wort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one of the misconceptions that I often have to answer and tell people when they're coming to visit the brewery about what making beer is all about. And generally speaking, it's cleaning.
Yeah.
It's cleaning, a lot of it, making sure your place is spotless as well so that the general public can look in through the window on our first floor and see what kind of showcase we've got.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, man.
So I was there for a little while at Clybourne, and then Greg Hall came one day to offer me a job down at Fulton Street. Obviously, I took it. This was my in. This was my in to the brewing profession, and I headed down there. I was working there for about 5 or 6 years.
Nice.
I was offered a promotion to go up work at Lakefront as their quality control manager up in Milwaukee,
Okay.
which was a great experience. I got to commute up to Milwaukee from Chicago.
Oh man.
It was a trip.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Chicago's nicest suburb, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that was a lot of fun, and I learned a lot while I was there about making lager beer.
Okay.
And that has since then become the focus of my work life, is making lager beer.
That's cool. So you got to see like both sides of it. I think that's a lot of brewers need to see, like, the small brew pub kind of thing, and then the production brewery, and some people love one or love the other, and so.
And then something kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lakefront, something
Lakefront
kind of in the middle. Yeah.
What was it like working for Will Turner versus working for Greg Hall?
Working for Will is much more tedious. He's a very hands-on guy. I got a lot of nice chemical burns, but he taught me that brewing beer is all about the hard work, and when you work hard, you make better beer. But Greg had instilled that in the whole entire Goose Island company.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely owe all of my success, the vast majority, to Goose Island. If you work hard there, they take good care of you, and you end up coming out a great brewer.
Yeah.
As everybody knows now, based on that tree, that family tree, that Goose Island family tree.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who have come from there and like just gotten their roots. It's crazy.
The lineage at Goose is really impressive, man. Just about every brewery in town has felt the effects of Goose Island, it seems like.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. I don't know if they get enough credit for that.
Uh-huh.
Oh, they don't. For the teaching part, for the education, that hands-on experience, you can't get anywhere else. Not in Chicagoland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you get to learn it all, like brewing. You get to learn barrel management, wild ale, like just
lab work,
yeah,
packaging,
it's
shipping and
insane,
receiving. I've done it all.
Yeah.
If you can't drive a forklift, then you're not a good brewer. You know what I'm saying?
So you started at Goose, and then you went to Lakefront,
Mm-hmm.
and then you decided, hey, this is something I want to do, like for myself on my own.
Well, I was very fortunate to get some recommendations from some folks to go judge at GABF, and I was only 27, so that was pretty remarkable. I was really excited about that. So in 2009, I headed out to Denver and got to take a look at what the whole craft beer scene was and what was happening. And when I came back, I started talking to a couple different people, including my old man, my partner in this venture, about possibly opening up our own place. So as soon as I got back from Denver, it was a matter of time before we figured out that this was something that was going to happen, and it was a trend that was going to continue for many years to come.
Right, yeah. And then with the broad chill, were you doing, as you were looking for a space, you were kind of coming up with recipes? That's kind of what you hear from other brewers, like home brew side. And
sure,
like
a lot of 10-gallon batches.
Yeah.
A lot of 10-gallon batches and a lot of buddy parties. A lot of hangout time because somebody's got to drink all that beer. But once you start getting your recipes dialed in, it's a lot of fun.
Because no matter how good you are, you don't want to just roll up to your system day one. You're like, I think this is going to work. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where DME came in. I can't give them enough credit either.
Is that they build the tanks? Is that what
that's correct. DME, Diversified Metal Engineering. They're on PEI off the east coast of Canada. And one of their engineers worked directly with me to help engineer and build and brew on my new kit.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. They had a lot of questions. I had a lot of answers. What's it like brewing at a facility like Goose Island? Here's what it's like. Let's try and replicate that on a smaller facility, on a smaller scale.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And then how big is your system?
I've got a 10-barrel kit right now with 2 10-barrel fermenters, 6 20s, and 2 20 brights.
Nice.
So what's it like selling beer when you first started out as a brewery? Like, what was your journey? What was your focus coming out of the gate as far as sales goes?
Well, I felt that there was still some room in the marketplace for lager beer, craft lager beer, local. And that was what I wanted to push. Coming right out the gate, I honestly tried to do too much. For this broadcast, for the sake of the broadcast, I'm going to be brutally honest.
Yeah, for sure, man.
You know, this is what it's all about. You come out with too many SKUs. You want to make 10 different kinds of beers. You want to be as creative as possible.
Right.
But when you get into the marketplace, you realize that you have to have 2, 3, maybe 4 solid brews, and that's including a seasonal. You need to limit your SKUs so that people can become familiar with your brand, as well as you can maintain consistency with your brewing process.
Yeah, because most people go out even for drinks after work. They're going to have 2, 3 beers, and that's kind of it. And if you're like, here's 10 of our beers, I'm going to try one of these. And if it's good, maybe I'll have another one. If not, I'm not trying any of the other ones.
If you come out guns blazing, God bless you, because that was the lesson that I learned, was that you want to come out with 2, 3, like I said, 4 as a seasonal, to make sure that everything you're brewing is solid, and that the general public then will be able to enjoy your beer and recognize you for your flagship, especially.
And tell your friends, like if I tell Nick, like, oh, you got to try Motor Row's beer, which one? Oh, I don't know which one it
that
was.
One.
That one. I don't know. It's got lots of booze and
yeah.
Yeah, like that Pipeworks model where it's like their first year, like 56 different brands. That's not the normal thing. It gets overlooked. Like, yeah, you got to have some solid ones, even though it might be more fun to do like these 10. You know, because like you said, you get to free spirits, you get to like mess around. But
sure.
Yeah. Like, because I went to, where did I go? I went to Brickstone this week. Yeah. And they got this huge production facility, right? And it's hard coded into, like, metal plate on just these 3 beers they're making. Like, APA and a wheat and, like, an IPA. And that's it.
That's it? Oh,
Like a massive system. But, yeah, to your point, they're
sure.
just trying to dial in those 3, man.
I'm really fortunate. We have 8 handles at the brewery. So I've got my solid 3 year-rounds, a seasonal,
so you got
and then we get to fool around. I've got some room to play games and see what we can come up with.
So you got the Reclamation Lager is one of the 3.
Correct.
And then what are the other 2?
We've got Zwickel Beer, an unfiltered lager, New Phoenix. We've got Dry Humor, which is our Belgian blonde with orange blossom honey, which is a pretty neat beer, as well as our IPL. I know Will Turner would crucify me right now. He's not a big fan of anything that's called IPL. Every time I see him, it's not a style. It's not a style. It's just a hoppy pilsner. Okay, so I'll admit it's just a hoppy pilsner. That's the truth of the matter. But so those are our 4 beers that we're pushing year-round. And I don't know. I'm going to brag because today I was really happy. We made an American brown with tart cherries. Oh,
nice. Okay.
And that's going to be our winter seasonal this year. And it's it's great. I'm really happy. I've never brewed with fruit before.
Okay.
And it all just kind of came together today, in fact. So right before I got here, I was tasting it and kind of admiring it and thinking, I think I got something going on with that. So
Nice. Yeah, the brown ales in general, with or without fruit, get overlooked. Like, it's just a style that's just kind of often not interesting.
Is it old man style?
Not old. It's old man style.
if you use enough pale chocolate malt, you can do whatever you want to do with darker beers. Yeah. It's all about
you
that.
guys are hitting a real stride here, man. Like, I really like the Schwartz beer. I'm not sure if that way, and whatever the anniversary beer was, those were both pretty solid brews. And then you've got you're making moves, man. Like, you're one of the craft beers being featured at Soldier Field this year with the Bears.
Yeah, that's correct. It's pretty exciting to go to a Bears game and get to have one of your own beers.
Tell us how that came about, man. That's not something that most folks get to do in this time, man.
Well, it's a lot of behind-the-scenes action, actually. It was difficult to find out exactly and pinpoint how we got on draft there. Through the concessionaire program, we found out that there were some folks that work over there at Soldier Field that had come by the brewery and enjoyed the beer.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. So that's how we ended up being on draft over there with such awesome beers as Half Acre and Lagunitas in the craft beer stand.
That's crazy how just in general I think business works that way. Just I happened to find you, or I happened to try you. You were good, and I
happen to be this guy.
This dude, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be honest. My distributor was kind of shocked. They were very happy for us. I got a phone call saying, "Guess what? We need to pick up 12 half barrels today." And I said, "Well, geez. All right, I've got 14. You can have the 12,
right?
And let's do it." Yeah. Everybody in the tap room can suffer the consequences, but we're going to go on at Soldier Field and be excited about it.
It's pretty major.
It was. Yeah. It is still, yeah.
Yeah, because even like a couple of years ago, you go to Soldier Field and there was like, there's Sam Adams and then there's freaking, Sweetwater. Like, and so this last year, you're starting to see a focus on local. Okay. And it's just pretty exciting. For sure. Yeah. Did you ever think that like collaborations would be such a big part of what you're doing? Because you got some pretty cool collabs going as well too, right? You got Patty Long's and you got the one at Republican that we were just talking about.
Yeah, I did think that because I've been very fortunate to be in the industry for about 12 years now, and I had a vague idea that I was going to get some backing right out the gate, and turns out I did. Pat Berger, can't give enough credit to Pat Berger, founder of Patty Long's with Chris, his partner, and Kaiser Tiger, and they've been a part of both of my fall seasonals so far. We do wet hop beers with fresh hops from Hophead Farms in Central Michigan. Oh, cool. Yeah, and Pat has been fully supportive of the project from before we even opened. I remember having Pat down with one of his buyers to visit the brewery, and he didn't say much, which is kind of daunting, who you're talking to, one of the best palates in the industry. But it turns out that was because he liked the beer.
He just didn't have anything to say about it.
He was just like, this is good beer. And then he had another one, and then I knew that he liked it. That's how you can tell, generally speaking. If they have a second one, you got him hooked.
Right, okay. As Nick pours his second beer.
Yeah, so Pat and I get along very well. He's a fantastic guy and is known widely through the industry. So is Adam Vavrick, who is a big fan of lager beers, traditional style, old school lagers. Yeah. And I'm very, very proud and humble, I should say, to have worked with him on his first collaboration since becoming the beverage director at Publican. We made a Rogan beer, which is an old school rye and wheat red lager beer. Okay. That's been around for about 600 or 700 years now. Okay. So we were able to do some research and go back and trace the recipe and try and recreate it to be as unique as it was back then.
What's it most similar to that people or the masses have had? Like,
that was the point. We were trying to dodge that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for anyone who's like one like that, I don't think I've had or
sure.
That style. So I'm trying to think,
I'd say like Red's Rye.
Okay.
Over at Founders. Yeah. It doesn't have the hop character that Red's does, but it has that nice rye, that spicy finish to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good. And is that on tap at Publican?
We kicked it.
Oh, it's already gone.
It's a
We
wrap.
kicked it quick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was about a month, if that. So that was really great. I was able to pour it in our tap room at the brewery, and Ed imported over at Publican, and we kicked it about a month, maybe 6 weeks. So that was really exciting to see that kind of success right out the gate.
Man, I haven't been to the Publican since Adam became the beer director there, and just like it's been so long. I just
And there's a Publican at the airport now, apparently.
right.
Yeah. And they're working on the one in Wicker Park,
Yeah, I'll
too.
just wait till
Oh,
the
yeah,
Wicker
that's
Park
right.
one opens right by my house. And
Nice.
go there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't have to worry about a reservation. You just pop in.
Yeah. Usually that's what I do at the other Public. Just go to the standing tables, the tabletops, and just kind of pork rinds and some beer.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
And then you can meet people, too.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, chat up your new neighbors at the bar. Yeah, for sure.
I need to eat there, man. I've been there twice for meetings. I haven't actually eaten there
They
yet.
haven't eaten there?
No.
What do you
Oh, jeez.
doing?
Gotta get like the
Sheltered,
charcuterie platter.
Yeah.
They roll it all out. They've got some crazy seafood platter that they do, like the seafood tower.
I hear that's the one where everyone in the kitchen gets a shot or something. When
Yeah,
somebody-
yeah.
We gotta order it ahead of time. You gotta like reserve it.
Yeah.
Oh, is that big?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
like huge and it's crazy. You need to like be going with a group and just surprise everyone ahead of time. Be like, I ordered it for us. It's like
Who do you love?
It was like $200, but it's coming.
Yeah, here you go, everybody. Let's get it. Let's go after it.
So what else is going on, man? You got you're in an entertainment district. You're right by McCormick Place, right by Soldier Field, right off the expressway, and then you got something else going on in the works with the folks at McCormick as well.
We do. We've got some exciting news as of today. Today's been a big day for me.
Right on.
And it's really great to be here today in particular. I've got the chefs from Savor, which is the group that runs the food production at McCormick Place.
Okay.
They're going to be coming next week to the brewery to do beer and food pairing work with me.
Oh, cool.
Thanks to Siebel Institute. I got to give my props to Keith and Lynn. Thank you very much for teaching me more than I ever knew. And also Mary Pelletieri, who's formerly Miller Coors Mosen, for teaching me all about flavor profiles and the pairings. So I've got all the important people coming over from McCormick Place next week to check out my beers, and we're actually doing pizza and beer pairing.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're talking like the auto show, every major conference that goes in town, all these McCormick Place is like, probably ground zero for like trade shows and conferences in Chicago would be my guess.
Well, you know how Revolution does it
No.
with the Comic-Con.
Yeah.
That's how Galaxy Hero came around.
Oh, because they were
C2E2.
Oh, 'cause
Yeah.
they partnered with to make it for that comic book thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can only dream that I have that kind of success as Revolution does, because Josh and Will and Jim, Seaback, everybody over at Revolution, they make such great beer. I can only hope that I can live up to those kind of standards.
Right on.
I like it. So what else? So if people show up to the brewery, you said you have 8 beers on tap. Is there like
Sure.
seating, any food? Can you order food in?
Sure, I can tell you a little bit about the brewery after I have a sip of
Oh
beer.
yeah, you got to stay hydrated.
So right now we have 3 stories, like Nick mentioned. The first floor is mostly tasting and retail. The first floor we can hold about 30 or 40 people.
Okay.
The second floor is more of a comfortable tap room with picnic benches and picnic tables, so people can order in. We'll bring your own order in, which I think also helps out the neighborhood. We've made some great ties with local restaurants that have brought people into the brewery itself, actually. And it goes both ways. So we bring people in, and they buy food from the neighborhood, and vice versa.
That's probably nice because I remember going to Bader Brow and like looking for like, oh, where can we get food over here? And you're kind of like, there's not too much around, so maybe as more places like you guys and other breweries are like restaurants will be like, hey, we're gonna come here because
Rico Benes,
yeah,
man.
Rico Benes.
All I have to say is they make a chicken fried steak pizza.
Damn.
Bottom line. And I will be pairing that with some beer for the folks with McCormick Place next week. Look out, folks, from McCormick Place. chicken fried steak pizza. It's a beautiful thing.
That sounds pretty intense, man.
It is.
I loved it, man. It sounds great.
So yeah, we've got some great connections with the local restaurants, and it seems like every time I go into the tap room, more and more people are eating food.
Okay.
So we've got the second floor space, and the coolest space, in my opinion, besides the brewery itself, is our third floor special event private party space, where we host live blues music. We've got a great blues band. Actually, they were just inducted into the Chicago Blues Hall of Fame 2 weeks ago, the Chicago Blues All-Stars. And that's in connection with Chess Records, which is up the street, just at 17th in Michigan, I believe. And it's a great thing to be able to support local arts.
Nice.
Yeah, and we could fit about 120 folks up about there. So as a sales point, hey everybody, you want to host a party with with all your friends and family? We just did a wedding last weekend, which is our first wedding at the brewery, which is pretty exciting. Yeah.
I would totally get married at a brewery.
Yeah, we I followed that great model that Revolution has up at Kedzie.
Okay. Oh, the tap room.
The tap room. Yeah. Learn from the best, you know. Yeah. Follow along.
There's all sorts of parking up and down Michigan.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good alternative.
You don't have to recreate the wheel. Just make sure that your beer's good.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. So what do you got coming up, and what events? And you mentioned the seasonal coming out this winter beer. Like anything else that people should be looking forward to?
Well, I'm gonna say it again. I figured out how to put fruit in beer.
Yeah,
and that's tough. It's not easy, and that was really exciting for me. But we're going to stick to making our Schwartz beer for our spring seasonal. Fleetwood Black, which is a very popular beer. It did really well last year. And also right now we have on draft a series of pale ales and double IPAs.
Okay.
Because I have to placate. Got to keep the people happy.
Right.
Got to keep everybody happy. Yeah. So try and bring a range. I got... anywhere from 4.5% session lager, like Munich that we're drinking right now, all the way up to a 9.5% double IPA.
You said earlier you saw the market needed some more lagers. Do you like brewing one over the other? Do you like brewing the lagers? They take more time and are a little more finicky, right?
Yeah, they can. Yeah, there's nowhere to hide in that lager.
Yeah. No, I definitely. My staff is fantastic. My brewer and I, Justin Lincoln, and I work together every day to make sure that we make extremely clean and high-quality lager beers. So that's what I pride myself on. I also really enjoy using hops that are not popular. There are a lot of hops that are out there that taste great and make great beer without having the kind of name variety like Galaxy. Yeah. Trust me, there are plenty of hops out there for anybody that's concerned about a hop shortage. You just have to be creative.
Right.
You just have to use your skills as a brewer to make a beer. Right now we have a Slovenian black lager on that has exclusively Slovenian hops. Damn. Salia and Styrian Bobek.
Slovenia.
Yeah, Slovenia. They grow some of the best hops in the world. It's amazing.
Is that's in Europe somewhere?
Yeah.
I'm such a fucking American.
No, that's all right. I actually was fortunate enough to have the family come through to taste some of my beers, and then I decided, hey, this is worth giving a shot, trying some of their. It's a Rojnik Family Farm, ROJ, Nik Rojnik Family Farms out of Slovenia. Okay. Mm-hmm. I can't name the city or the town. You got me there. But they create a lot of great flavor profiles that are not common right now in American-style beers.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Have to look out for that.
Yeah, you were talking about fruit beers earlier, and then what's the hardest part for you with regards to these fruit beers, or what's the thing you like the least? Is it you trying to achieve one flavor and then you can't, you anticipate one thing and then this other thing happens?
Sure. No, I'd be more than happy to talk about that. So you're looking for a flavor profile that will accentuate the type of fruit that you're using, but you're also looking for the aroma and immediate hit that you're going to get from the fruit itself. So using a combination of real fruit, fresh fruit, and a puree, you can develop that fruit flavor profile, that combination. And I have to give some props, some credit to Brandon Wright out at Workforce Brewing, who helped me. Yeah, out in Plainfield. We've been very good friends for a while, and he was the one that was willing to help me figure out exactly proportions, how much fruit you use, how much puree you use, to get the type of flavor profile you're looking for.
You hear that a lot in Illinois breweries, and I wonder if that's different in other states. Like, for example, like the Spiteful guys, they'll run into Randy Mosier and ask him, well, how much peanut butter should go in their peanut butter and jelly stout? And everyone seems to be, from the outside, seems to be just kind of sharing some of their practices and the things they've learned, like kind of freely with other brewers. Is that, you think that's how it is everywhere, or is that a local thing?
Well, you got me there, Nick.
I don't know. Like that, because Chicago seems to be very communal, with regards to that. So,
well, we all hope the best for each other, that's for sure. And we hope the best for Chicago craft beer, because it's been somewhat behind the curve compared to the West Coast. So we do bond together in the fact that we're from the Midwest, and Chicago is such a great namesake city that we want to represent in the best way that we can. And with such incredible people such as Randy and Ray Daniels, and having the Siebel Institute here in the city, there are a lot of people that are very, very jealous, that are, want to be a part of that here.
So that's a global destination for beer training.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely. So in that respect, I would say that we are all on the same team. We want to make sure that Chicago gets known as well as Portland, as well as Seattle, as well as San Francisco and wine country out west. Yeah. So in that regard, we're doing our best to make sure that everybody knows Chicago is a city to be reckoned with. And you can see that in the competition results. At GABF, we did very well this year. The city and the state did, as well as the World Beer Cup.
Nice. Right on. Well, as we wrap up here, what are the hours of the tap room, and where can people find out more about what you guys are up to?
Sure. So we've got a website, go figure. We've got a Facebook page. I'm not the most computer literate, so I have to give some credit to my staff in terms of keeping those things up and running. The tap room is open Tuesday through Sunday. Mm-hmm. Tuesday through... Oh, jeez. Yeah, you got me there. Mm-hmm. Friday, we're open 4 to 10, and on Saturday, it's noon to 11, I believe, and Sunday it's 12 to 6.
Okay.
And we have super awesome deals. Here's my pitch. We have super awesome growler and howler sales on Sunday. It's half price. So come on out on Sundays.
Yeah, because you guys got that thermal howler.
We do. We do.
Keeps beer cold for 6 hours. It's great.
It does. It keeps your beer cold. We got the dual layer stainless growlers that are starting to become even more popular around the city and the neighborhood. So in the Midwest, I just took my lead from out west in terms of the vessels.
Yeah. Nice. Right on, man. Yeah, South Loop, man. Get yourself down there. You can make a day out of it. Hit 3 or 4 breweries. Discover a section of downtown.
Discover the city.
Go rediscover. Rediscover the city. Yeah.
Nice. Then Nick, where can people find you too? And are you gonna be at Hoptacular?
I'll be at Hoptacular. The morning session on Saturday.
We'll be there. Nice. Beer Hoptacular.
I'm pretty sure we'll see a Brad Chmielewski there.
I'll be there too. Yeah.
Right on.
Follow me on Twitter at brad.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Nicosio.
And Chicago Beer Pass is on Twitter at Chicago Beer Pass. Website, chicagobeerpass.com. All the episodes are posted there. Links to iTunes and Stitcher and everything else. And then our Facebook page. Nick's been posting a lot of stuff there this week.
Nice.
Getting after it, man.
Yeah. My name's just Frank. I don't have an at anything. I hate to say it, but if you want to hang out and come and meet me and get some kind of impromptu tour, please come down the brewery. You'll see me hanging out, having a beer. Don't be afraid.
He's
to
the dude
come
with
on
the
up
shirt
and
that
say
says
hello.
Frank.
He's the dude with the shirt that says Frank.
It says Frank.
Well, this is great. Thanks for coming on the show. And, yeah, everyone else, thanks for listening.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, you guys.
Cheers.